Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. We're your hosts, Cedric Kennedy and Sidra Owens. And I don't know how much Sidra's going to talk about this one, but the question is, are the Young Turks the enemy of progression? What is progression? That means you have something and you do things to progress it. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, moral, amoral, neutral, you progress at it. You got a project, you keep building it. You got a mission, you fulfill it. That's progression in general. Progressives, from Henry A. Wallace, a little bit before, and even today, are people that want positive things for the society that we are in. You want the Medicare for all, you want to forgive student loans and then free college. You want, all these just super positive and great things. But this takes politics to do. It takes politics. And within politics, it's not about absolute power. It's about absolute money. And when it comes to absolute money, the idea is to get the people to fight themselves in tribalist views so that you can do what you want to do. And then take money, not from them and taxpayer money for your own pocket, because that's how you get paid. But then you've got the big donors. Those are the ones that you listen to, the corporations, oil and old money and things like that. So when you've got a left wing and a right wing, and it's been damn near 100 years, and there's been no absolute great progression towards where we should have been 40 years ago from today, then where's the progress? You have to wonder where it is. Why don't we get it? What is stopping us? Is it us? Mostly because we appeal to authority. Who's the authority? The authority would be news outlets and things like that. What politicians say when they get on camera. That's what we appeal to. And I say we just to sound inclusive. Okay? So, TYT, what did Anna Kasparian have to say while quote-unquote guest host Benjamin Dixon was up there? I'm going to play it. This is going to be through my phone. Hold it up to the mic. Hopefully it's not going to blow your eardrums out.
No, that's important. And what I mean by a multi-pronged approach is we need organizing, meaning organizing among workers. But if we can win electorally, we should win electorally. That is part of this equation in accumulating power. And when I see people like Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, pretty soon Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, I refuse to minimize those wins.
Absolutely.
You don't get what you want by just snapping your fingers. It doesn't happen that quickly. We're not going to successfully create a third party. It's just not going to happen. And so we need to get crafty and figure out how to accumulate power under the system that we're functioning under right now. And it can be done. The right wing did it. There's a playbook. They're way more organized and they understand what power means. And honestly, there's this young electorate that's hungry for leftist policies. And so it's really the future of the Democratic Party.
All right. So, full context was given. You know the parts that would annoy me. Let me explain something. She mentioned about 4 to 5 people in Congress. There are hundreds of people in Congress. Okay? Those 4 to 5, Tlaib or Alexandria, Omar, Bush, and maybe 1 or 2 others, as AOC and others got in there, they were even told you won't have a voice at the table because you clearly don't know how to play the game. AOC herself tweeted that. So nothing was getting done. All AOC had was rock star fame and the ability to get some clap back on Twitter.
Can I chime in real quick?
Go ahead, talk.
So, cynicism goes 2 ways. When you become cynical about the situation, you either are going to fight harder tooth and nail trying to change it, or that hopelessness that can come with cynicism is going to kick in, and it's like, well, we might as well do what we can in the midst of what we got, because we ain't going to get no better. That's basically what she said.
Yes, that's what Democratic voters had led with for 40 years now. Even before that.
I mean, because it would take a whole lot to get rid of all of the... I'm just going to say it. It's going to take a whole lot to get rid of all the old white folks in control of Congress. And 5 drops of color in the bucket is not enough.
No, it's not. What Anna Kasparian, or Ananika, because that's a better name. But anyway, I'll use her Christian name, Anna. What she is letting you know: don't fight, don't do anything. Let's work in the very system that's gotten us as messed up as we are now, and let's change this whole system by infiltrating a party that's going to corrupt those that are infiltrating it and not getting anything. That is literally reverse incremental change right there. Incremental goes up 1 or 2%, a little crumb here or there. This is, we're going to do the greatest stuff. You want to talk, you better give us what we want. We'll give you exactly what you want, but we're going on Twitter and say what everybody want to hear. Wait, that sounds like lying. That sounds like the very thing that messed up Hillary Clinton. Now, a lot of people are going to be, oh, you just hate TYT. It ain't about hate. Do you know what hate is? Because you clearly don't know. That's strong. And people use it colloquially. So do I. But if I hated TYT, I would really go all out on them, on everything that's wrong. And incrementally, I do. Spaced out through months. People aren't trying to hear the truth. They're trying to hear what they want to hear. What placates to the feckless thinking that they have. And I'm not using feckless in the negative way. I'm using it in the actual meaning of it. Not trying. Not putting forth the effort to get something done. And that's what they're doing. People out there, the voters, the casual person, they just look, I vote Democrat, I go home. I go out, I vote Republican, I go home. That's what Anna's appealing to. So TYT in general, Benjamin Dixon, who I haven't listened to in maybe maybe a month and a half or two. I'm trying to figure out, how are you progressive? How can you be progressive by saying not go for a third party? And then make sure that your people, it's got 92,000 views in 13 hours. This 92,000 views. Now that could be doubles or triples. It could be. Let's break it down. 70,000 people listen to this. 7,000 people are going to tell their friends to listen to it. Or it's going to be part of an argument. Yeah, ain't no need no third party. That's dumb. But the current party system hasn't gained you anything. People out there, listen to me and answer these questions, because this is what TYT and others are telling you when they are against a third party, forming a third party. They are literally against progression. Tell me something. I want you to answer honestly. Has your bills gotten less over the years? Have your bills gotten less? Have drug companies put out medicine that doesn't cause a grand slew of ailments, but only helps your situation? You know, the ones like it may cause liver cancer, rectal bleeding, blood in the urine, swelling of this or that, cardiac arrest, death. These things are always in there, but yet it's supposed to lower your blood sugar. You know what? I keep my blood sugar a little elevated so long as I don't have instant death. See, when you see everything that we do and everything that we go through, everything we're trying to get is political. We elect these people. And these people are supposed to go up there and say, hey, we are for the people, but they don't do that. and the drop of color in a white bucket isn't going to do anything. You might see that little smear go out a little bit and say, whoa, look at the vanilla turn a little chocolate. Oh, wait, it's too much. The chocolate's diluted. We've got nothing. How much? Think about where you are. Is there gentrification going on? Gentrification meaning upscaling everything around you so the taxes of land and home prices go up just because everything around you gets better. So then your bills got to go up because banks got to get not something that increase their prices, but say, hey, this area looks really good now, so this home is now this much. You know what? You might want to think about refinancing your home all of a sudden. Has the price of your drugs gone down, stagnate, or gone up? Is it hard to get on Social Security? Is it hard to get on anything that's going to help you pay your bills? Matter of fact, during the pandemic, did you get a multi-time per month $1,200 per person in the home, or a grandiose, decent $5,000 per month in general, not per person, but just for the home? No, you got a one-time, maybe one-time $1,200. You also got to see the big corporations and the old money people get trillions, over $14 trillion this year alone, as well as the military budget going up like $800+ billion. But you can't get anything. And when your leader, as you want to call him, Joe Biden, says to the corporations that fundamentally nothing will change for them, that means nothing is going to change for us. In fact, it's only going to get incrementally worse. And you'll blame the Republicans. Yes, the Republicans understand power and they know how to use power. Why? Because the Democrats have always given it to them. Because the Democrats, you think they're not getting kickbacks off of this? They're getting paid to lose while Republicans get paid to win. It don't take much to go out there and say, I am for you having a better life. Not, I'm not Trump. When the boogeyman goes away, then what part of the dark are you going to be scared of, be afraid of? That's the question. So let me say that again. When the boogeyman is gone, what part of the dark will you be afraid of? That's the question. And they want to say, TYT, no third party, screw that. Benjamin Dixon on his show has been hollering, third party, no way. Farron Cousins, for the longest, have been anti-third party, and recently, because of how bad the Democrats are and how vile the Republicans are, he says we need a third party. But something tells me now that we have Joe Biden in and everyone can be complacent, what's going to happen is that now that TYT is saying this, now Farron Cousins will probably say third parties are vanity candidates anyway. That's what's going to happen. There is no way that we're going to get progress in a country where everyone says you can't have a third party because reasons. You know what? Let's not split. Let's not BS. What are the reasons? Because if you go third party, then TYT can't control you. TYT in general, I'm just going to be honest with you, they're just pro-Democrat. They are progressives, not necessarily. Everything that TYT talk about is stuff that we should have had 40, maybe 50 years ago. Just think about that, everybody. You know, non-racist cops. That would be good, right? Defund the police. Pay them what they should make. They shouldn't make as much as other country militaries. They shouldn't be making billions of dollars. No police officer should be making $100,000+ a year and then going out there complaining that they don't make that much, while still getting kickbacks from, you know, these forfeitures that they're doing. You know, these confiscations, these thefts, these gangs that actually go out and hurt minorities on purpose, that go out there and have to kill somebody to be initialized into the gang. You know, it's really something that these Democratic outlets keep hollering that we are progressive, but they want to work you and lie to you and cause such mendacity to get you to stay emotionally attached to the very system and or party that has not done anything for anyone. The Democratic Party is just as racist as they used to be. The Republican Party have gone from racist to fascist authoritarianism. So compared to the Republicans, the Democrats seem like they are holier than thou, and they are not. The Republicans used to be right of center. Democrats used to be left of center. Republicans are now far right and demonize anyone that's not center left or center right as the far left, and then demonize that as socialism and communism without really saying what socialism and communism is. Socialism would actually put more money in your pockets. Socialism as an outright thing, like capitalism, if socialism was the absolute pure thing, then it would absolutely fail. That's the truth. Communism, that incorporates basically a socialist and capitalist system. That's basically, I mean, you want to get in the middle. But when you abuse one of them, like capitalism or communism or socialism, that's when you get failure. That's all that is. That's the truth. You know, we don't have anyone that's really advocating for us. Not at all. TYT isn't going to do it. Tom Hartman isn't going to do it. They are stuck 100% in Democrat good, Republican bad, third party no. And if that's all you hear and that's all that you go with, how are you going to vote properly? How are you going to have options to vote? If you don't, hear me out. If you don't have an option of who you vote for, what party to vote for, what candidates to vote for, if you don't have the option, then what do you have? Seriously, think about it. I know some of you are shaking your heads, and I understand that. But if it's time to have a primary, which candidate do you want to see in such and such seat? And your option is this party people, that party people. Then all you can say is, well, we do have options, because within that party, you got those people with those ideas. And when they win, those are the ideas that's going to happen. No, it's not. It's not. We don't need incremental change. We need change. It needs to be abrupt. It needs to be quick. It needs to be a hard, swift hit to the political system and the social system to make the drastic and honestly radical, meaning extreme, that's all radical mean, to make those changes that will actually give us and put us where we should have been ages ago, and then the seed will be planted to where we need to be in the future. That's what we need. And when people are afraid to take that hit so that they can placate to their tribe, then we have been held back. We have been regressed. That is what has happened. And it sucks. I would like for all of you to really open your minds, open your eyes and your ears, and really look at what's happening around you. That's what I would like to do. I would love for you to all to be able to hear me, because there's only one other person that's actually talking about honest and true progress that does live streams and things like that. And no, I'm not talking about Conquering Thought, because he is absolutely already progression. Like, if you don't know that conquering thought is progression, then what's wrong with you? No, but somebody that I had to laugh at because he was just getting me wrong, but suck my opinion. He comes out and says who and what he is. And you listen to him, and what do you hear? All good things. He wants good things. He wants bad things for bad people, good things for good people. And he doesn't want to means test it. He wants it done. Get the good stuff. Get resources. Why should everything cost money? Does it really need money? Why can't you just get it? I've been having that in my head for the longest. Just like every single one of you at one point in your life. That innocence, when you think about how things are working, but why aren't they like this? That innocence, that innocence is what adults around you at the time feared would happen, because they had to pay out. They had to work hard. And since you aren't doing what they had to do, they're mad at you. That's what happens. So listen to this guy, Suck My Opinion. Very antagonistic name, but I understand why. Give him a listen to. Listen to Conquering Thought's old videos. And I'm sure if he gets upset enough, he will definitely put out a new one. You know? You want extra help? Listen to Sunny Secular's podcast. She just had a good one on cults and whatnot. And this, which I didn't want to jump to the cult thing of it, but I kind of did loosely. You listen to what she had to say about cults, even though it was religious, it's also political. And she talks about it in a worldly sense, not just religious. So check out Sunny Secular, okay? SecularMinority.com. I think it's up there too. Listen to Conquering Thought's old and recently old videos. Go and check out Suck My Opinion. Because the real progressives aren't having hundreds of thousands of viewers. The real progressives are on the ground telling you the truth and not telling you what you want to hear. It's easy to tattletale and say this is how things are and they're robbing you and this and that. But when you really think about it, so are you, TYT. Now, TYT does do a lot of good things that's not turning out good at all. Because they don't want what's really good. They don't. If they did, they know what to do to solve it. They know exactly what to do and how to do it. But they don't want you to have a great life. They want you to buy their merch. They want you to be their members. They want you to give them super chats and other donations. They want you to be on their side. And then they hold you to the no true progressive fallacy. I ain't gonna lie. Sounds like a cult to me. And the Republicans know exactly what to do and how to do it. And they've been doing it for so long. TYT ain't the only one that do this. David Pakman, Tom Hartman, Kyle Kalinske, Benjamin Dixon. You know, a lot of these people. Farron Cousins, he's on the fence. He's on the fringes right now. I guesstimate that he's going to jump right back into the TYT talking points. But Farron Cousins is realizing progressives are good in name, but not in action, because they're all in the party that's not about action. That's the issue. So we don't know how Farron Cousins is going to go. But I do listen to him. I haven't really watched TYT in a very long time. Just to be honest with you, I haven't. But like I say, I'm here for you. I want to share who I am. I want to share who Cedric Kennedy is. That's what I want. I got one life and I want people to experience what I think, how I got there and things like that. Not going to lie. You know, yeah, I want to do a Patreon, you know. I'm going to put up their personal stuff, cute things that I love. I'm going to do a lot of that stuff. I'm not going to ask $5. I'm not going to ask $10. It's not going to cost $3,000 to $5,000 to have a conversation with me. You can converse with me on Discord at any given moment. I've got Zoom set up, and Sunny Secular has been slowly helping me with that. She doesn't know it, but as she heard me say, "Oh, know what I'm doing." So, when it comes to working with Zoom, it's just weird, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it down. I'm going to get it right. You can talk to me on Discord. Like I said, Patreon, asking for maybe $1. Whatever the lowest is that I can charge, that's what I'm going to charge. The lowest. Do everything else with your money. I just need the lowest I can get. That's it. I would like to be able to replace this computer one day. It's about 10 or 12 years old. So, yeah. I'm just being honest. So with all that I've said, if you got to listen to it again, I know it's long. I get it. I get it. But when you think about it, when you really think about it, wouldn't it make the TYT people almost the enemy when you need a better life and they're telling you, no, we're not going to give you a better life. And every program we start is going to stall somewhere, and all we're going to do is give brownie points to it. Because that's what every single one of their programs have done, stalled out and turned into a brownie point system. Is that really for you? Because it sounds like that's for them. They are a business. Cenk Uygur runs it. Cenk Uygur is still not far from being an outright staunch Republican. Cenk Uygur, he's telling you the truth in many things. Anna's telling you the truth in many things. All of them are telling you the truth in many things. But when they come out and blatantly say, we're not going to have competition to the two-party system that got us where we are, then how much on your side are they? That's what you've got to think. Third party, if you think it's not going to work, why do you think that? Who put it there? How long have you thought it? Who was the first person, the first thing that made you think about the third party being bad? Because think about it. They didn't say which third party. They just said third party in general. That's just it. Your enemy, the Republicans. And if you're Republican, your enemy, the Democrats. Democrats and Republicans both say third party can't do it. We won't allow it. We don't like it. Listen to the pattern. Listen to those words. Because that's exactly how you make sure the country doesn't progress, but stall where it is. And before I go, I want you to think for a moment, even if you got to pause it, or just after I say this and stop it and think back to when you're a child. You're a little kid playing and the fun that you had. I know you remember certain little things that you did you weren't supposed to do. And some things that you were supposed to do, or were just neutral. It was so funny or so fun. Think about those things that happened that weren't so fun. That made you think, you know what? That's not cool, and I'm not going to do that. That's not fun. That's not right. Think about when you're in high school, middle school. Think about those two areas, Think about what you did, who you spoke to. If you went to parties or not. Think about those memories and those moments that help define who you are today, your thought process. Think about all of this. And if you are old enough, or if you're young and you got kids and you're watching them go through what you went through, not so much during a pandemic, well, not so much as it could be today as it was 10 years ago or 20 or 30 years ago. But your kid, adopted or not, you're watching basically your past in a sense. How would things be if you grew up and in this day and age? That's what you're watching. Do you know what you're truly watching? You are watching and have lived and currently living your one life. And it hurts and it sucks. But you are going to experience, hopefully, no pain, but you're going to die. This isn't about leaving anything for a legacy. No. This isn't about doing what's good for your kids. No. This is about doing what's good for you. This is about you. I don't care if you're 65, 75, or 85 or 95. I don't care if you're laying in bed on oxygen 3 to 4 days from dying. It doesn't matter. This, right now, currently, is your time, your life. Everything that you have, everything that you're going to have, and everything that you would like to have is all based on progression towards a positive future. And when someone says, we don't want you to have that, but we want you on our side, don't you feel a certain way about that? Because that's the end results. No, they're not literally saying it, but that's the end results. We want you on our side, but we don't want you to be happy. Something's not right with that. So if you make your life better, if we can start an actual legitimate third party, and we got 4 years to do it. We've got 4 years to start a legitimate third party. Some kind of actual united front party of progression and positivity for people in general. It doesn't matter who benefits from it. Everyone should be able to benefit from this. And it's not financial. It's mental. It's physical. And a little bit financial. Your life, your one life, you should live it better today. You should live it better tomorrow. You should not live it better in 30 to 40 years when it's too late to live it. You have the chance to make life better for you right now. And by default, that makes it better for any descendants. You want your child to actually have a better life instead of just listening to the TV and listening to these people here online saying that you're going to get better and things need to be better and look out for your children. What about the children? Your children are the future and all this other stuff, but yet nothing changes. Then you have to take a hit. You got to take a hit, do what's right, and tell them all, you need to help us form a third party. You've got the money. You've got the you've got the resources. You've got the people backing you to start a third party and take over properly. Instead of these little drops in the buckets of a full milk tank, make a new bucket and fill it with everyone that needs to be in there. Make that absolute clear line in the sand. Because that's how you do it. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. And at points, Sidra Owens in the beginning. And we thank you for listening.